Congratulations on selecting the Rion Greenhouse, one of the finest greenhouses on the market. This innovative product is manufactured by Rion, a successful high-quality plastic manufacturer. Your greenhouse has been designed and manufactured to give you ease of assembly, simple maintenance, child and ball-safe glazing, and pleasure, nurturing cuttings and seeds for later planting in your garden. Take a few minutes to watch this video, which covers the construction of your new garden building, giving useful hints and tips. Your new greenhouse has a unique, simple push-fit system, which makes it easy to construct. But there are a few basic household tools you'll need to get together before you start. Tape measure, spirit level, scissors, utility knife, and, although the Rion greenhouse has no sharp edges or conventional glass, we do recommend that you wear gloves. Before you start, it's advisable to unpack all the boxes and lay out all the components grouped together by type on the ground. They are coded for easy identification. This is important to enable you to identify each component and check it against the instruction manual. None of the components or boxes is excessively heavy, but working with one of the family, a friend, or a neighbor will speed up the process. Please exercise caution when lifting the packs, and during the assembly process you will need assistance to position the roof section. To gain the most from your Rion greenhouse, it is best placed in a position where it will receive direct sunlight and is protected from the wind. Once you've decided on the location, you can then choose which form of base to use. We recommend that you use our specially designed Rion base. It will give you the flexibility to move your greenhouse easily anytime in the future. First, dig a small trench, around 50 millimeters or 2 inches deep, and then position the base into it. Check that it fits and that it is reasonably level. Alternatively, decking secured to the ground also provides an ideal foundation for your greenhouse, as does paving. You may wish to prepare a concrete foundation. If this is the case, refer to the assembly instructions for the technical details and be sure to check with your local authority to see if a special permit is needed before you pour a concrete slab. It is not advisable to construct your new greenhouse if weather conditions are inclement, particularly if there are high winds. Now you can start constructing your greenhouse. First, lay out the parts of the frame on top of the greenhouse base. It is easier to do this away from the prepared base area. The components simply push-fit together. To help you get the frame connectors round the right way, the outside is marked for ease of identification. Once you have assembled and secured the frame to your greenhouse base, carry it over to your prepared area and take a minute to check that it is square by measuring across each of the corners. Take time also to make sure that the base is level at this stage, using a spirit level. Next comes the roof. Start by putting together the front and back ends. They are slightly different in their construction, as one, of course, carries the door. Follow the instruction manual and firmly push the fittings together and lock the pins in place with the tool provided. This is where your first experience with fitting the polycarbonate glazing panels takes place. They have no sharp edges, do not shatter, and are much easier to handle than glass. The outside surface of the panels is specially coated to protect your plants from harmful ultraviolet rays and is marked with a tape to help you fit it the right way round. We recommend marking the coated surface of each of the panels with a dot with a permanent marker, in case one of the panels needs to be refitted. Fit the glazing seal in the end section at this stage, cutting it to the required length and pushing it into place with the tool provided. Once you have completed the ends, build on the central arches one at a time from the rear end of your greenhouse until they are all in place. Finish off by attaching the door end. The next step is to attach the glazing elements which hold the polycarbonate glazing in position. It is best to step into the framework so you can reach the top of the roof. To make it just a little easier to insert the glazing elements, apply soapy water to the strips before fitting. Attach each glazing element by placing one end in the channel and pushing it down along its length. When fitting the glazing elements, make sure that the correct components are used in their appropriate section as they vary in length. It is well worth checking against the assembly instructions. Now you are ready to place the roof vents and polycarbonate glazing panels in position. The roof vent is designed to fit into the middle section of the roof and can be placed left or right, front or back. If you have purchased additional roof vents, then now is the time to fit them. Now for the glazing panels. Place them into one of the channels of the glazing element, top or bottom, and then gently bend the panel to ease it into the channel at the other end. Continue inserting panels until the roof is fully glazed. Finish off the glazing by adding the glazing cap elements, pushing them firmly into place. Again, it is easier to fit them if they are dipped in soapy water first. Be especially careful to align the glazing capping elements so there is no overlap or gap. This makes for a better fit and it will look better. Moving now on to the base section. Insert the vertical columns into place. Notice that the 4 corner posts are round in profile. Once all of the columns are in position, secure them using the locking pins as used in the roof section. For the next stage you will need assistance, not because the roof section is particularly heavy, but it's awkward. Before lifting into position, make sure that the entrance for the door is in the same position on both bottom and roof sections. Take one end each, lift together, and then move carefully over to the base section. Rest the roof on the columns and then, working your way round the greenhouse, insert the first centimetre, ½ inch, of the roof connectors into the columns. Make sure that you do not insert the connectors all the way at this stage, as this is done once you have the glazing in position, which is the next step. Bend the glazing panel slightly so that each of the vertical sides slips into the frame columns. Then straighten, sliding the panel up or down into grooves in the frame. Complete all of the polycarbonate glazing panels in the bottom before lowering the roof section. Move around the greenhouse section by section, pulling the roof down using the glazing tool if needed to guide the corners of the polycarbonate glazing panel into the top channel. Once complete, then go around securing the roof into position with the locking pins. Now for the final element of the glazing, fitting the flexible glazing sealer. This needs to be applied to all of the panels in the base and the ends, both horizontally and vertically. Cut to the required length and using the glazing tool, push the sealer into position. This will provide your greenhouse with a waterproof and windproof seal. Just before you hang the door, you will need to fit some soft foam insulation into any gaps between the roof and base connections. The insulating strip is self-adhesive and can be cut with a pair of scissors. Now all that's left is to drop the door onto the frame hinges. Last but not least, fit the draft seal. The construction is now complete. Now you can infill the greenhouse base with the soil removed from the trench. To prevent weeds growing and to provide an ideal all-weather surface to work on, spread decorative aggregate or gravel over the soil to a depth of around 50 millimeters or 2 inches. To enable you to get the most benefit from your Rion greenhouse, a full range of accessories is available, including louvered windows for draft-free ventilation, roof vents with automatic openers, 2-tier staging for storage and extra working space. A great way of collecting water naturally for use in your greenhouse is through the guttering system using a water barrel to collect rainwater for future use. Just a point of safety. You should always close roof vents in high winds and after a snowfall, clear it from the roof of your Rion greenhouse with a broom. Now is the time to start enjoying your Rion greenhouse.